Imagine having an amazing time with your family, but a sudden horrible surprise happens unexpectedly at the end of the day. That's exactly what happened to me and my family, aka my dad and brother. We were having a terrific time at a place in New Zealand called Hicks Bay. We were exploring that place. We hiked up a mountain that was exactly 800 steps. At the top of the peak, there was a fascinating lighthouse. It looked like it was 3 stories high. We were taking pictures and we were enjoying the amazing view. Then it was time to go, but at least we enjoyed it. We came inside the car and took off. The view was amazing. The ocean was crashing into the rocks, making a gigantic wave. The seagulls were gliding in the sky. The sun was glistening on the crystal blue water. We were at the edge of the rocky road. My dad handed me the camera to take pictures. I captured some birds flying high in the sky, the trees as they sway side to side, and my family, of course. As always, my brother and dad started arguing about some things that I did not understand. I didn't get bothered as I was already used to it. But after a few minutes, they stopped arguing and started laughing and smiling. I felt happy because this reminded me a lot about my family and Philippines. But at the same time, I felt sad because I miss them. At some time, my dad and brother started talking about accidents. I was just listening to them, but I suddenly got lost in my thoughts. I was thinking about my family and this earth dying. Of course, I would be filled with depression, and sadness would control my whole body. Then I was suddenly thinking about Jesus dying on the cross. I was thinking if I would be sadder if my family died than Jesus dying. I thought of myself as a selfish person for thinking that. So I slapped myself back to reality. Then I eventually started to sleep. I suddenly woke up by the feeling of something swaying around me. And when I least expected it, the car started to sway side to side just like a tree would. Then the car tumbled and tumbled over. I was horrified. What if my life was going to end there? Thoughts were taking over my mind. I was panicking. Stuff was flinging there and there and there. Glass was shattering. It was scattered everywhere. My hand suddenly flung up into the air, causing my left arm to scrape on something. My head was bouncing around like crazy. I was looking for something to hold on to, but it was too late. We had already landed in the muddy oyster farm near Ohope Beach. I felt heat rushing over my left hand. I looked at my hand and panicked. My skin had technically escaped from my left hand. I couldn't do anything but cry. I was patting my brother's shoulder and was showing him my hand. Some kind dude came up to us and told me to calm down. He took the keys out of the car to stop the car from functioning. Then he asked us some things like, "Are you guys the only people in the car?" and stuff like that. A few minutes later, the fire brigade came to save us. Well, not really save us, but help us get out of the car. The kind sir took me out of the car from the window and carried me until we were inside the fire truck. I was panicking. I was thinking if my life would change at this point. Horrible thoughts filled my head, but those thoughts disappeared when I thought of God saving us. I suddenly calmed down and wiped my tears away. A lady came up to me and asked if I was cold. I obviously said yes because I was wearing a singlet. So the lady gave me one of the fireman's coat. It was warm and cozy. Then the ambulance arrived. Another lady named Tony rushed inside and she treated my hand. I was holding the pain inside. When she was finished, my left eye started to flicker. I thought I would go blind, so I panicked again. The ladies transferred me into the ambulance. I told them about my eye and they said it was because you got hit multiples of times. I felt my head again and it felt like a large chicken egg was inside my head. Then the people carried my brother and dad inside the ambulance in a stretcher. I was shocked. I thought that they were badly hurt. My heart was filled with pain when I saw my dad complaining about back pain. Then I saw my brother with a brace around his neck. I felt a wave of anxiety wash over me. Then that reminded me of something called forever. I had been thinking about living with God forever in heaven the past few days. It scares me to know that something won't stop, like life not stopping. I then realized that God might have had a lesson inside this accident. I just couldn't figure out what that lesson was. I then accepted God at that moment. I'm not saying that I haven't accepted Him already, but I was saying that I'm ready to live with Him in paradise, a place called heaven. I am now willing to conquer anything with my God without fear and pain. I will share about the good news of peace and how He saved me and my precious family. I am thankful that He is there for us and that He will never leave us. Thank you.